What up, B Squad? It's me, JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Love and Marriage DC. You guys, it's back. And according to the guide, it says it's season 3, episode 1, but we're picking up on the end of, where we left off on the first half of season 2. So technically, this is season 2, episode 11, and this episode is titled Stop Being Petty. I believe that's what the episode was titled. I think that's what the episode was titled, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and it's actually titled Stop Being So Petty. Now, before we go ahead and jump into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and have me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love and Marriage DC, shall we? All right, you guys. So, yeah, I don't really expect this to be that long of a review. What I will say is, if they do get a season 3, I hope y'all never take this long of a break, because being real honest with you guys, I was watching last night's episode and I was extremely confused because I completely forgot what the first half they talked about. And then watching this episode, yes, in the beginning of the episode, they gave a little update about what had happened in the first half. But even with that, I was still kind of confused because I did not remember what set things off with this party with Ashley and with Joy. Now, before the episode came on, I guess they were doing a marathon of season. I don't think they were doing a marathon. I think it just was leading in that previous episode led into this episode, and I didn't watch it, but maybe I should have. But what I will say is, they dropped the ball when it came to Love and Marriage DC, right? Because last year, Love and Marriage DC, the first half of season 2 ended in March, right? And then the following week, they started Love and Marriage Huntsville. They came back for their 6th season. And then Love and Marriage Huntsville ran from March all the way down into the summer, like July or so, right? I think they ran from all the way down to then into July. And in the interim of that, they aired Love and Marriage Detroit. What I think they should have done, which would have been better for them, would have been to air Love and Marriage Huntsville right in March, then bring Love and Marriage DC back they should have brought that back last summer, and then they could have threw Detroit in with Love and Marriage DC, since Detroit followed Huntsville every Saturday night up until Huntsville went off, in July or whenever. And that would have been cool. And then Huntsville could have come back for the back half of their season until where we are now. And then y'all could have already done filmed season 3 of DC. But hey, it is what it is. Now, this episode, again, we opened up where we left off last year, which was in 2022. So what I will say is, I do feel bad for this cast, right? Because the thing is, they've already filmed this. Like, some of this stuff was filmed last year in March, right? So things that we're going to see after this, it'll be from January up until March of last year, which is still a year behind the 8 ball, right? And then they filmed the reunion. They've already filmed the reunion. So if you guys see them talking about anything on social media, on Twitter, they've already talked about it at the reunion, and now they're rehashing things again. Because the thing is, some of these people don't even, like, we'll go ahead and talk about it real quick. Winter and that guy Yusha, right? We saw the scene with them in this episode where they were ice skating. They were talking about how they were in a relationship with each other. She was talking about how she told him she loved him and all that stuff, right? And they were still being abstinent, and her end goal for abstinence is marriage, right? Now, the thing about Yusha and Winter is they're no longer together. I don't know when they broke up, but those two have since broken up. And I was like, wow. So Winter's sitting here having to watch how happy she was in a relationship that she's no longer in with this person. I mean, I guess that's very interesting. Now, I do want to say something because Winter said that she told him she loved him. I know that they were talking about introducing the kids to each other. I don't know if they did that, but she was talking about she told him she loved him, and he didn't say it back to her, right? Now, what I will say when it comes to things of that nature, I'm someone who I have no problem expressing my feelings. And I'll say, if you don't feel it, then I don't need you to say it to me. Like, if I tell you I love you and you don't say it back, I'm like, it's fine. I'm not upset that you don't say it. You're probably, different people get there at different times, right? We're going on the same path, we're going on the same road. We just get to our destination quicker or slower than others. That's how I feel. Let me know what you guys think, but I do think it's odd that they're not together anymore and we are talking about this. But hey, we're pausing here and we're moving forward. Now, let's just go ahead and talk about this was the entire bulk of this episode. You guys remember in the last episode that not Winter, but Ashley and Joy had gotten into it, right? Another fun fact that's interesting is the fact that Ashley and Winter are good friends with each other currently, and that's so interesting to me. But you remember Ashley was having that Christmas Eve party, right? And remember, she and Joy got into it, and this is where I said I don't remember how things happened. I just remember them getting into it. Now, let Joy tell it happened one way. Let Ashley tell it happened another way, right? Ashley says that Joy came into the house and didn't speak to her. You guys can say if she did or if she didn't. I don't know, and I'm not gonna sit here and argue and say, yeah, Joy came in the house and she didn't speak to Ashley, or no, Ashley, you wrong. Like, I'm not gonna do that because I don't remember, and I didn't take the time to go back and rewatch. But they were arguing nonetheless, and you guys also remember that Arena went to go check on Joy in this process. And then when she came in the house, her and Ashley got into it, and I was just like, for what? So Ashley's whole thing is the fact that, you're in my house and you go check on that bitch and not me. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait, huh? So you're upset that she saw somebody probably storm past her and was upset, and she was like, you know what, let me try to figure out what's going on, not even knowing that it might have been the host that she had gotten into it with. Like, I wanted to ask her to make that make sense to me, because it really didn't make sense. So you're mad at Arena for checking on somebody else, and she's like, yeah, because you in my house, you check on me. I was like, that's a little childish if we're gonna be honest with each other. But nah, didn't understand it. Then at one point, Ashley and Arena are going back and forth with each other about Joy and who brought Joy to Love and Marriage DC. I was like, wait. Are we really arguing about who brought the woman on the show? Okay. This is childish. Extremely. Because Ashley says that I'm the one that pitched her, and Arena was like, well, me and Jamie pitched her as well. I was like, okay. But I do remember, like, well, actually, I'm about to say last year, but it wasn't last year. I believe it was 2020. Okay, so the first season of Love and Marriage DC aired in 21, right? And I do remember, like, in the interim of that show, I did remember, like, on social media that I was seeing a lot of pictures of Joy with Arena and Ashley at events in DC. And I was like, oh my God, are they shopping her around to be on this show? And lo and behold, they were. Because it was really, really odd to me, because I had never saw them together until after season one had wrapped. And I was like, oh, so, and I put two and two together. Then I was like, they're trying to shop her on the show, and it worked. But I don't think that any of them are real friends. I think that's another issue with DC as well as Detroit. They put these people together to make a show, but these people have no real connections and no real relationships with each other. These are made for TV friendships. I mean, sometimes it can work, other times it can be a complete disaster, much like this, right? And we're breaking fourth wall on this show. Like, we're literally breaking the fourth wall. And honestly, it's not that big of a deal. If you pitch her to the show, that's fine and dandy to pitch her to the show, but ultimately the producers will do the producers well, I don't know how Carlos does it, to be honest with you. I know what I know with most shows, like back in the day with Housewives and stuff, you screen test, right? You test with some, you film some individual scenes by yourself, and then they bring you around the group to see how you mesh with the group and how you interact with the group, and then that determines if, in terms of Housewives, if you get a peach, a diamond, a snowflake, a champagne flute, a orange, or whatever. I forget. I don't know what New Jersey. Oh, New Jersey holds nothing. A brick of gold. Dubai, whatever. A mojito, whatever the women hold. A star, like in Dallas. You screen test, but again, I don't know that probably they looked at, I don't know, I'm not going to assume, but probably they saw the social media with the girls hanging out. Oh, okay, so they probably have a great connection with each other, and offered her a contract. It is what it is. So then the next day, because eventually they just ended that scene, I didn't even realize Carmen and her blue contacts were there. So the next day we have each couple talking about what happened. Ashley and Quick are talking about it. Arena and Jamie are talking about it. And Joy and Clifton are talking about it. 3 different stories are going on, but it's the same damn story. Ashley was talking about the fact that Joy called her a bitch. Did she call her a bitch? I think she did call her a bitch, but I don't remember. But okay, she called you a bitch. Put out your house. You did. And like I said, it's stupid to me. This all could have been avoided if Ashley had never went around and told Joy and Clifton's business. And granted, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Joy and Clifton's, but you went and told Alicia that they were married. Now, I will say, what was the big secret? Like, the name of the show is Love and Marriage DC, not Love and Engage. But hey, were they looking for a free wedding? I do not know, right? But I do think that, and even when Ashley told, Alicia about them being married, once Joy came to you and confronted you about it, all you had to say was, you know what, girl, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. But I do see that you're upset. And you know what? I wasn't trying to hurt you. I wasn't trying to upset you or anything like that. So I can 100% apologize to you for that. That's all that had to be said. And then, like I said, Ashley is still upset that Arena went after Joy. Ma'am, it ain't that big of a deal. Like, my God, it's not that deep. It really ain't. It's like, okay, she went after her, but then she came back to check on you. And when she came back to check on you, you were in your feelings and you were pissed the fuck off. So, what the fuck? Now, Arena, I'm going to talk about you real quick. Well, I'm going to talk about you once we get to the end of the episode, because you did have your hands all up in that girl's face. And she did say, let's stop with the hands. But we'll talk about how I feel about that later as we get to Ashley and Arena meeting up, right? But we'll pause here and we'll move forward. Okay, so Joy and Clifton, you guys. Now, I can't say, or I can't negate or, dispute what Joy says, because I don't remember, right? Because I can't say, because, Joy is saying that she went over to the party and she went there with the intent to basically put everything out on the table, right? And like I told you guys, I don't 100% remember if Joy called her, Ashley a bitch and I don't remember the chain of events. So I can't say, well, you probably did go over there with good intention, but then you called the woman a bitch. I can't say that because I don't remember it, right? Do not remember it. I don't remember it. Also, I do want to say that here's my thing with Ashley. Going back to Ashley real quick, right? You invited her, but then after the situation with Alicia, you said she avoided you. And I don't remember the whole chain of events because me personally, I would have went up to her. You're in my home, right? You said, and Ashley says that she didn't speak to her. I would have gone up to her and just said, hey, you came into my home and you don't speak to me. This is my house. Like, you're technically an invited guest, but you're kind of uninvited at the same time. I don't know, but I would have just said something. Would it have escalated? It shouldn't, but this is reality TV. I really don't care. I really don't care. Now, the thing is with Joy, Joy is saying that Ashley apologized, but she didn't seem remorseful. You're right about that. Ashley wasn't remorseful at all. I don't think Ashley meant that apology. I think Ashley was giving that apology just to smooth things over and be like, you know what, girl, I apologize. Not that I give a fuck, but I apologize. I think that that's what it was. And Clifton feels as if Ashley may have baited Joy, and I was kind of confused about that, but okay. And yeah, I as much as I don't see it for Clifton and Joy, I do have to agree with them that yeah, Ashley, you're not 100% the reason they're on this show. You may have pitched them for the show, but ultimately it came down to the producers. If they felt like they were one, a good fit for the show, and two, if they mixed well with you and Arena, since you and Arena are, the staples on this show at this point since Monique is gone. Yeah, I don't really care, you guys. The more I just think about it, yeah, they could have kept this. They really should have kept this. They just should have did like what Black Ink Crew Compton did when they came back for their second season. They scrapped the original second season and started fresh with a new second season. Y'all should have just done that. Y'all really should have just done that. But technically, this is the continuation of. Y'all should have just scrapped this shit for real and just started a brand. Y'all should have scrapped the fuck out of this and just started with a new season 3. Because at this point, I don't think anybody really cares, honestly. Because I don't. Now, to wrap up, you guys, Clifton and Quick, they met up with each other. Quick is telling Clifton what happened at the party. And I was kind of confused by Quick because Quick in his interview, because at one point Clifton was like, if he were there, it would have went a different way. And Quick in his interview was like, what does that mean? I would have said that in that scene. Like, what you mean? If you were there, it would have been different. You gonna try to do it to my wife? Okay. Now, at one point, I think it was Jamie and Rainer who were talking, and they are wondering if it's a bit of jealousy on behalf of Ashley. And I'm going to ask the question, what is there to be jealous of? You guys are all on the same show, even playing field. Yes, Joy and Clifton was on Ready to Love, but who cares? Nobody knew them but the people who watch Ready to Love, right? And also, nobody knew any of you guys before this show. I think people may have knew who Quick was, but as far as Ashley, Arena, Jamie, Joy, and Clifton, nobody knew who the fuck y'all were. No shade, no tea. Nobody knew who y'all were. I'm just saying. So I don't see how anybody could be jealous. If anybody would have any envy, it should have been, and it could have been with Monique, because people knew who Monique was before Love and Marriage DC, because people watched Potomac, that other show, as she called it, right? Also, Clifton was talking about the fact that with he and Joy, they fell in love on TV, and they just wanted something to themselves. And I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, because if you wanted something to yourselves, why were you guys going through the motions of planning a wedding on the television show. If you guys wanted something to yourself, I'm confused because it is what it is. I really don't care. Then the next thing you guys we got, I thought was so confusing. Arena, and actually, I watched it, but then I had to rewatch it to take the notes. I went to sleep during it 2 times, and so I don't know what they were talking about. I know they were talking about the party, and I'm tired of the party at this point. Arena and Joy met up at a hardware store. Now I know that Arena said that she and Jamie are doing some things around the house. I did hear her say that, but they are literally in this damn hardware store talking about the party and talking about Ashley. Why? Y'all couldn't film anywhere besides this damn hardware store. Y'all couldn't go to get a drink. Couldn't do anything. Okay, it is what it is. Didn't care. And once again, do I think that Ashley is jealous? No, because Ashley and Quick, they're getting ready to go to a party because of a friend of theirs who is the first black man that was elected governor of the state. A governor, I don't forget where he's the governor at, but he's the governor. And they're talking about, Clifton and Joy as well. I don't think it's envy or anything like that. It's just, it's, oh God. It's mean. It's mean spirited because I mean she calling him Clifford, the big red dog, and all this kind of stuff. But your husband is short, girl. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I was just sitting there like I don't understand why it was shady. That's what I will say. It was shady as fucking. I just didn't understand what all the shade was for, because I mean there was a lot of shade coming from Ashley about Joy and Clifton in this scene. And I was like, damn, were y'all asked to talk about them? Now, granted, I know Clifton and Quick had just previously met that day, but my God, y'all, it feels like y'all talked about them the entire scene and then in y'all's interview. Okay, it is what it is. I don't honestly God give a fuck, to be quite honest. I don't know how many times I've said that in this review, but I don't care, you guys. Then lastly, Ashley and Arena, sat down with each other one more time. This is childish as hell that Ashley is upset about the fact that Arena went out to check on Joy. Oh my God, if I hear that one more time, I'm going to scream. And then I do agree with Ashley when she was asking Arena to, stop with the hands because we don't want to go to the point of no return. And I got where she was coming from. Like, don't put your hands in my face because Tammy Roman done told y'all when y'all put the hands in your face, you can and you will get checked, right? But that's all I got for this episode. I'm so sorry, you guys. I hope it didn't sound too ranty. I really hope it didn't. But there, like I said, it was just gone for so long, and there were just things that I was like, why are we still why are we talking about? It was just the thing for me was this whole episode consisted of the party. That's all we talked about. But I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about that for quite a few more episodes, and hopefully it'll be over and done. But yeah, like I said, this would have been better if it came back last summer, and it would have been fresh on everybody's minds about what happened. But hey, you guys definitely jump down in the comment section and let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Are you happy that it's back? Did you watch it? Do you care that it's back? How do you feel? Let me know in the comments below. Like, what I will say is one last thing, and then we're going to get out of here. I feel like Love and Marriage DC is the redheaded stepchild, right? Grant, because currently Detroit, I don't know if they're still filming season 2, but I know that they were filming season 2, so they'll be back very soon. I'm not reviewing it. Also, Huntsville has started back filming, and they'll be back soon for season 7. I'm not reviewing it. I may watch it, you guys. I'm not gonna sit here and say I won't watch Huntsville, but I can definitively tell you I ain't reviewing it. That's a definite. But hey, Let me know what you guys thought about Love and Marriage DC down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.